Broadheads. Let's talk about them. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. For those of you new here, my name is Jay, and today we are going to be talking about broadheads. Specifically broadheads for deer hunting. Now if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show which broadhead is my favorite currently and the one that I'll be using for this upcoming season. Now, with respect to these broadheads, we're going to focus solely on deer hunting. Not to say that you couldn't use any of these broadheads we go over for anything bigger like elk or moose, because I'm sure they have been used for things like that, but that's not something I've experienced with, so I'm going to stick to just deer because that's what I have quite a length of experience with. I'd say of the close to 40-ish deer that I've harvested over my life, probably only 6 of those were taken with a gun. I do a lot of archery hunting, and that's what I like to focus on because archery is fun. What I'm going to do now is flip the camera angle so we can take a look at these. I have 3 broadheads that we're going to talk about today, and can really dive in and look at the broadheads close, because who wants to look at my face the entire time? So let me bring you guys around and we'll dive in. Okay, as you can see here, we got our 3 broadheads, and ironically, they are the 3 different types. We've got our fixed head here, our hybrid, and our mechanical / expandable. So let's start off with the fixed head. This is made by Slick Trick. This is just called their standard 4-blade. Nothing special on the naming, but it does have 4 blades on here. Also has each side, so you got 1-inch cutting diameter this way, and you got another inch this way, so they say that adds up to a total of a 2-inch cutting diameter. And then the point on them, they call it their 4-edge point. It's a little bit of a chisel tip, a little bit, but as you can see, it has 4 different edges on it, so that's why they call it that. Blades are made out of something called super steel, they say. I don't really know exactly what that means. Probably just some kind of steel mixed with some other metal. If somebody knows, please drop a comment down below and tell me what that means. But this particular head, I have killed 2 deer with it. There's 2 does, long time ago. And whenever you're talking about fixed heads, I feel like the common cons that come up are accuracy and blood trails. I like how small this particular head is in the blades. It's not obtrusive or anything. It's very small and narrow, so it kind of has that field point-esque shape and style to it, and they fly very well. I never had an issue on accuracy. Now, blood trails, I mean, yeah, with a fixed head, you're just not going to get the blood trails you would as with an expandable or whatever, just because of that cutting diameter and such. But I'll mention something else at the end of the video when it comes to broadhead selection. But as long as you tune it, and you're going to see this commonality with each one that I talk about, as long as you tune your broadheads and shot placement is good, you really shouldn't have an issue. But I like this fixed head a lot. It's also pretty affordable. I'll link down below in the description each of these heads with the best prices that I could find on the internet. So that's your fixed head. Second one here, we'll talk about this guy. This is the hybrid. This is called the Muzzy Trocar HB, and these blades are made out of steel also. But when it comes to hybrids, and I'm always shocked, if everyone here knows about hybrids, I apologize, but I'm always shocked when I talk to people They don't know about hybrids. So you got your two fixed blades there that give you an inch cutting diameter. And then you got your two expandables here that will give you an inch and 5/8 cutting diameter. So in total, it's a 2 5/8 inch cutting diameter. That's a pretty big hole. And Muzzy kind of does something similar on the head that Slick Trick does. You can see it has a couple different edges, but it's a nice strong head that can help with penetration. I have killed, I believe, 3 or 4 deer with this head. I really do like it. They fly very well, especially when they're bunched up in here, when they're completely compact and everything. I'd say the only con that I will give this one is sometimes pulling them out of the quiver. These blades they'll be just like a little bit like out like that, and you don't want that. So that's just something to be cognizant of if you decide to use this particular head. There's other hybrids out there. I know Slick Trick makes one. I think Rage makes one too. But I think with the hybrid, you kind of get the best of both worlds here. You got your bleeder blades, and then you get your expandables for the bigger wound channel. So that's your hybrid. And we'll come to, I feel like, the last one that gets the most hate. The mechanicals, the dreaded mechanicals, as everyone calls it. This is the Rage Hypodermic. I have shot this mechanical for a very, very long time. I've killed, gosh, at least of those, 30 to 40 deer. So I'll say at least 20, probably more with this. I've used the different types of Rages over the years. There's your older standard 2-blade, and they had the chisel tip one, this one the hypodermic. I've used quite a few. This particular one has a 2-inch cutting diameter, and yeah, I still have the shock collar that they come with. I've heard now that they don't come with, they have the no collar system that they come with now, which is nice because these shock collars can be a bit of a pain. But with your mechanical, if everything goes right, it enters the deer and expands like it should, you're going to get a really nice wound channel. And that's why a lot of people like mechanicals, because more blood loss on a good shot means that deer should be down quicker, and you should have a really easy blood trail to follow and recover the deer quicker. In my experience, I have only lost 3 deer to this mechanical here, and over the years with Rages, and it's never been due to the blades not deploying or something malfunctioning on the broadhead. It's been shot placement on my part. Bad shots by me, and I don't care what broadhead you have. You make a bad shot, your chances of recovering the deer, if you don't hit anything vital, is going to be low. So I believe these blades are made out of steel also. But this is again another nice price point broadhead. So that's your mechanical. Now, which one do I go with? Maybe, judging by how I describe each and every one of them, you might be able to tell, but I go with this guy, the hybrid. Like I said, I think you get the best of both worlds. And if for some reason one of these blades were to malfunction or something, I've still got my 2 bleeder blades here to help me out with any kind of a wound channel. And again, if you make a good shot, deer shouldn't go that far. Now, if any of you are wondering why I moved away from the mechanicals here, and just before I get into that, I never really moved away from fixed head or whatever. I just happened to grab these because I needed some broadheads back in the day, and yeah, this is just what I ended up grabbing. Not something I'd recommend for nowadays, because you want to shoot your broadheads and everything and be confident with them, make sure they're tuned on your bow. But one of the reasons I moved away from rage. I had some instances to where I recovered the deer each time, but if you are shooting at an angle at a deer, whether that be quartering away or quartering to, and the harder the angle, I think the more likelihood of this to happen. Whenever this impacted the deer, these, for some reason, these blades, you could tell on the entry, it's like it slipped down the hide of the deer. It's almost like a zipper. It looked like someone had a little mini zipper on the deer, and it just zipped open. And instead of getting double lung and everything like I aimed for, I got one lung and then came out the guts. So it's happened to me quite a few times, and I know some people also it's happened to. I don't know if it's a rage thing or if it's a mechanical broadhead thing, but that wasn't sitting well with me, especially because I didn't know what happened the very first time. I'll put a picture of the buck that it ended up happening to me too on the screen. But that thing it was a very close shot too, only 14 yards, but he was quartering to me. But when I looked at him, I'm like, oh my goodness, that broadhead slipped down his body. And that's not what I wanted. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's time for a change. And so I started shooting these hybrids here, and they've been very good to me.
Okay, guys, yeah, that'll about do it for those three types of broadheads that you could use for deer hunting. Obviously, there's many more out there, but a tip for if anyone's on the fence about a particular broadhead or style that you're trying to figure out, my tip for you is shoot the one I'm shooting. No, I'm just kidding. Um, my tip would be figure out what works best for you. Because a hybrid works best for me, that doesn't mean that works best for you. Knowing how your equipment works, knowing how your bow shoots, having a very well tuned bow will help you in the long run when deciding what kind of broadhead. Because a bow that's out of tune may give you mixed results on different types of broadheads. Like, for instance, your practice tips, you're hitting dead center, but your broadheads are all off to the left a little bit or something. You might want to check that out. Probably move your rest over a little bit. So, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate if you would leave a like and subscribe to the channel if this is something you like. It really helps me out. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.